I joined this race without knowledge fully in my fully in the knowledge of that. But at the same time, at this current time, the APC is doing some fundamental things that are going to help women in politics. There is the bill fully supported by the APC in which there will be reserved seat for women in the National Assembly. So that is a positive. I am a research professor. I research and I've looked at women in politics as a research topic and how they affect health. My area was mostly health. In the reserved seats, it's very popular in East Africa, right? Not so much in West Africa. It has actually the fact that Rwanda has the highest percentage of women in politics was due to reserved seats. So the APC's push on that bill gives me the confidence that the APC is the party that will produce the first female governor in Nigeria that is elected in office. With that push, that push has never been as strong as this. Anytime I see billboards just telling the world, I see advertisements on TV just telling the world that this is a bill that must be passed. I am confident that if there's a time for a woman to emerge, this is the time. And I'm also confident that if there's a place that should emerge, it should be Ogun State. Given our history of women activism from Mrs. Ransom Kuti to Madam Tinumbu, who moved from Abeokuta actually to Lagos to be a trader, we've always had women in our culture are strong and are given lots of responsibility. So I am confident that this is the time. That is my confidence that I think that everything being aligned. The other part where I have confidence is that what I've done in the past, like I mentioned, and my brother mentioned that he was one of the people that came and talked to me several times. It wasn't it took them time to get me to actually join and also participate as a candidate. It's because of what I had done as I don't know if any of you are from Ogun State, but if you're from Ogun State, you will know what Yanifura Foundation is and what it did, both as when I was Commissioner for Health and as Senator. We touched many lives. And so that knowledge that you've done well, and people expect that in the governorship you will do well again, is one of the things moving my candidature. And you cannot get any kind of so the people are there to testify to what I've done. So I think this is the perfect timing. So we can't always judge the future by the past, right? So I believe that it is very possible that a woman will be governor in Nigeria, and that this opportunity to break that glass ceiling. And my hope is that once I've done it, it will be the norm for women to contest and win. Not all the time, because we will not win just because we're women, but we will win because we're the best candidates and we are delivering service to the people. And that is my hope. Thing is, when I go out and I see the people tell me what I did for them, I have had to cry sometimes. And I don't want to, if I'm telling, I'll give you one, because my uncle here was there. We went to a rural area in Ifo. Our village is in Ibogun, is in Ifo, local government of Ogun State today. And when I got there, they asked me, "Oh, your twins have you seen your twins lately?" I said, "Oh, wow, the twins." This story, not that I'd forgotten, but so when I was Commissioner for Health, one afternoon, they came from the village and they brought a day-old baby twins to me. They said their mother died overnight. Her husband did not have money to pay for hospital birth. One of these. So they had the baby in a church. She was having twins. During birth, the mother died. And the husband had no job and no money. So they brought the twins to me. I was flabbergasted. I don't know how you could feel like two newborns are in your lap My own child was a toddler. It was with my mom because I was so busy. I had no, if I took these babies into my home, I would not know, I did not want them to feel, to be neglected. And I knew that. So fortunately, a good friend of mine had adopted from a motherless baby's home, and I had visited it and seen that it was clean, the kids were well taken. So I called them, I said, is it possible you can take in two babies? And they said, oh, we have two cots, everything. I went there, they took the babies, I gave them, formula, bought nappies and everything, was giving them money every month. I think until I left the country, actually, I was giving them money. But so those babies, their father will come and look at them and keep until they were developing very well. They grew, like babies, chubby, and I would go and see them as well, make sure they were being kept for. When they were 2 years and working, the father came to see them. I said, you should come to my office. I said, these kids are now old enough for you to take them. He said, ma, I have no job. If I take them, what will I do with them? I said, okay. So what we did was we had a clerk position at the General Hospital in Ifo. He became a clerk. He wasn't well educated. If we could give him a better position, we would have tried. He started getting a salary. After a year after that, I said, sir, these kids are now 3, going on 4. You've worked for a year. I hope you've made enough money. He said, yes, I'll now have an apartment. I think I can take them. He took them. The kids are now in their 20s. Adults, both of them are alive. Their father, unfortunately, has died. But the kids are okay. They are adults. So I'm just telling you that story is one story that people reminded me of. But I have a million stories of people in Ogun State that said, I have a business today because of something you did. I am who I am today because of something you did. So that is why I'm back. In terms of what I will do specifically, I think that the people called me back because of what I had done. And they know as governor, I can talk about specific projects. For example, I've applauded the Lagos Calabar Road. The reason I've applauded the Lagos Calabar Road is that one of our biggest problems in Ogun State is that anybody leaving Lagos to go east or north must come through our state. Either the express, and at Shagamu you turn to go east, to go towards Ijebu, Benin. What that has created is that expressway is congested. So we have 2 highways that are always having cars. Both of them are under repair now and things are good. But if the Lagos Calabar Road, for example, we discongest our roads significant to the way that it will make lives better for our citizens. So there are other projects. Transportation is one of our plans. Agriculture, education, a major one. Nobody can have, the reason I could leave politics and go and become a professor is because I had a PhD. I could do my PhD. I could work anywhere with that. We want children that can become me or anybody else, that they can use education to have a life where they can choose who they are. And that has to be mostly science education because that is where innovation is. So science, technology, ICT education will be agriculture because we have a lot of land in Ogun State. We're already kind of the major provision of food, raw food, that is not processed to Lagos. Our factories, over the last 20 years, we've become the manufacturing hub for the country. To continue to do that, I can go on and on and on. But again, I feel confident with not only what I've done in politics before, feel confident in what I've done in politics. I feel confident about my knowledge and ability to deliver development and successful governance in Ogun State. I'm joining the race because I think it's open. Nothing is impossible. I don't think there is a foregone. I've been in politics, so I'm not naive. I'm not joining because, she doesn't know what she's doing. I've run twice. Once I won, once I lost. I've been a commissioner. I know politics. So I know for the most part what I'm doing. So I'm not naive to know that. So what he's talking about is in our state, we have 3 senatorial districts and only 2 have produced governors. So and one has never produced a political governor since the start of politics, even going back to the Second Republic. As well, I am very concerned about this because I believe fair is fair. Every zone should be able to produce a governor, but there has been consistent work to do this. I can name you several politicians from that zone that I supported personally. I supported Governor Olunrin, who was a former military governor. I was the main person that took him around. We failed. My father has supported GNI. Isiaka is now in the National House of Representatives. It failed. So this is what I'm saying. If we don't make a concerted effort and do it in a way, already in the West, there are 3 candidates now. So the chances are what we need are going to be scattered again. What we need is to actually create a unified front for the West. I'm not saying it's not their time, but at the same time, a woman has never been governor. And that is also important to the women of Nigeria. We make up most of the voters. We need to inspire our daughters. And I'm not saying that Yewa people should not be inspired, but if everything we've done in the past has not worked, why do we think it will be different now? And I think I have the ability to actually get the West to a position that they will be able to, because it's something I desire to. I think that in a state like Ogun, every section has to be able to run for governor. But we have to get the candidate that will touch people's heart, and the kind of candidate that will not only win in Yewa, but will win in the East and the Central, right? So we have to get the kind of candidate that can mobilize not their own people alone, but the 2 other zones. And again, I think I have the capacity as a sitting governor to help Yewa, which is the Yewa and the Ado daughter and their worries in the West, to get the first governor in Ogun State. But I think I will be able to do that for them. Is part of the reason I'm putting myself forward, because all the other attempts have failed. Like I said, I took Governor Olunrin around when he was the candidate. I know the limitations of a Yewa candidate, so we need to build the profile of the kind of person that can stand alone and win election in Ogun State as a Yewa person.
We wish you well. You spoke with somebody with due respect. What we promise is at the end of the day, we'll do justice to this. Bye.